Hi, I'm clinical psychologist Dr. Danny Martinez, and I'm here today to talk to you about conspiracy theories. This is a hot topic right now because, well, there's a lot of them out there. So what exactly is a conspiracy theory? A conspiracy theory is a belief that there's a powerful group of people with evil intentions behind a large or massive social event. You may have heard about QAnon conspiracies, vaccine or anti-vaxx related conspiracies, conspiracies about the earth and whether or not it's round or flat, conspiracies about climate change and whether or not it's a real thing. There's conspiracies about the coronavirus and about the coronavirus vaccine, as well as many other political conspiracy theories that dominate some of the headlines in the social media we consume. I'm not going to get into all the ins and outs of each conspiracy theory, but I am going to try to provide you some insight into, first of all, why people believe conspiracy theories, and then why they hold on to them, even though they can cause people serious harm. First of all, you should know that conspiracy theories are more prominent during times of social upheaval and unrest. If you can think back to a time when there was less social unrest, you'll probably also remember that there were less theories floating around. Although social media isn't fully to blame for this, it's important to know that conspiracy theories have been around for many years, predating computers, but it has fueled access to that information, so that it's much easier to be exposed to it today, even by accident, than ever before. So why would social uncertainty drive conspiracy theories? Well, one thing we know about humans is that we have a survival instinct, and also that we try to avoid pain and suffering whenever possible. In general, we do everything we can to avoid experiencing pain, but then when we do feel it, we instantly try to relieve ourselves from it. So when we experience pain and suffering as a society, our tendency as a society is to try to relieve ourselves of that pain. Not only that, but this is a key part of it, that our need for instant gratification means that we try to relieve that pain as quickly as possible. Social unrest about things like the coronavirus, election result, employment, healthcare, social unrest for these things is high. And so our natural tendency is to try to reduce our anxiety about them. The problem is that many of these things are complex concepts. Many of them require deep knowledge of theories and areas of study that there's no way that the average person can keep up with it all. This is where conspiracy theories have a chance to sweep in with quick answers. But get this, those theories don't even have to answer the question for us to believe them. What they do is that in providing us an answer, any answer, however far-fetched, it can help to reduce the anxiety about something that we are really uncertain about. And this is where social media and internet headlines find their moment to shine. Okay, let's say you're not so sure that a vaccine is safe, which kind of makes sense because not all of us are immunologists or public health experts, so we're not sure, and it's something that has to do with our bodies and our health. Add to that all of the social anxiety about the pandemic and all the changes that it's caused to our society. It has really rocked your world internally and also the world around you. So the answer to this question is actually a really big deal. And because of the amount of suffering or disturbance that you've seen as a result, you're hesitant to just quickly believe that a vaccine can be effective. How do they make it so fast? What is even in it? How do vaccines work? Is mRNA the same as DNA? What if it changes my genes? Well, and how effective really is it? Who's behind it? Who's behind it might actually be the most important question of them all. If the government is supporting something during a time of significant social unrest, and there is significant distrust of systems and agencies to do what's good for their citizens, we are looking at fertile ground for conspiracy theories to thrive. So not only might you find yourself wondering what's in the vaccine, but you also might be wondering what's behind the making of the vaccine and the powers that are supporting it. Okay, so some folks actually also say that conspiracy theories are tied to your level of education. Although that is true in part, we now know that there might be powerful social ingredients that play a role in influencing folks who believe in these conspiracy theories. And our sources of information, particularly online, are not just a source of confirmation bias, but they are also a source of radicalization. You see, you don't have to be a full-on conspiracy theorist to be swayed by a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theories feed on your initial question and lack of available, reliable information. So it's not necessarily that folks who believe conspiracy theories are less intelligent. It's that the information to which they have access is unreliable and misleading, and it catches them in a time of social unrest and anxiety. So it may have just started with you being skeptical or just wondering about something. So what do? The first thing you do is you go online and you try to find more information on it. You Google something like, is X vaccine safe? And it takes you to an article with all of the concerns that someone had about a vaccine. You decide it's really good information, it's information that no one else is talking about, so you share it on your Facebook page. This is an article that confirms what you were afraid of. And then obviously, someone in your social circle sees it. It turns out they were wondering that as well. So they go ahead and comment. I knew it. Thank you for sharing this. And you commiserate on how terrible X vaccine is. So a few things are happening here. On top of confirming what you believe to be true, you feel a sense of belonging, acceptance, and even comfort knowing you weren't alone. Now you have this knowledge, and others have it too. What happens next is that post leads to creating a Facebook group, and then the group is populated with articles, with videos, with comments that perpetuate this idea while ignoring any other contradicting evidence. The group is now filled with content regardless of the validity of the data. This is what people refer to as an echo chamber. Hello, 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 hello. The group now not only provides answers to questions and suspicions, but also provides a sense of belonging and comfort in sharing this information. And in some cases, even a sense of grandiosity about knowing something that other people are blind to or just can't see. So is it possible to combat the power of conspiracy theories? I think the first thing we have to do is admit that they are powerful. We now know that our ability to be influenced psychologically is so powerful that tech companies have realized that data related to your online behavior can not only be manipulated, but it's also one of the most valuable assets out there. So there's even a monetary interest in having you return to certain types of information, especially if it says something about you that can be exploited for profit. Okay, if you're concerned about your thoughts and the suspicions you're experiencing are feeling out of control, the first thing you might want to do is evaluate and be honest with yourself. Are you in an echo chamber? And then think about whether or not there are other, more reliable sources of information that can help to counteract the misinformation that you are being fed. Another thing that we know that can help is to anticipate misinformation. When something big is about to happen or is being announced, prepare yourself for some level of misinformation out there. Keep your eyes open to the likelihood that there will be headlines and information on your social media feeds that might be misleading, while keeping an open mind to information shared by folks you might know that might be more knowledgeable in a certain field. And then to test that against what the general field thinks about that. You can still challenge, question, and worry. These are all normal reactions, but doing this as a regular exercise is going to help you hold conflicting information, maybe without even having the answer. Aristotle famously said, "The more you know, the more you realize you don't know." More than a statement in knowledge, I think it's a statement in humility. It's also a reminder of our limits, and that the unknown is an unfortunate part of our existence. So here's my takeaway. Having doubts, feeling concerned, and feeling anxiety about the uncertainty of things, all normal responses. We are all going through hard times, and it's hard to tell how we are exactly going to get out of this. So searching for answers that might help us reduce that anxiety about our existence is a pretty normal thing to do. Natural tendency we all have as humans. But here's the thing. The way we feed that immediate need to know and to be relieved of that anxiety can lead us to really dark places. In order to satisfy those needs, we might be digesting and internalizing false information. And although that can be satisfying and comforting in a moment of uncertainty, it can ultimately lead us to serious physical or mental harm to ourselves or to those that depend on us. It can also lead to the rupture of relationships when points of view differ so widely because of radicalized perspectives. We should be wise to know that in the age of social media, misinformation is out there and it is likely to reach you. Bracing yourself for conspiracy theories when something big happens is one of the best ways to protect yourself from them. And hey, maybe finding comfort together through the unknown, maybe a reason to embrace others around you, can help reduce that need for immediate comfort that we might get from simple, sinister answers to complex questions, as we try to relieve ourselves of the uncertainty and anxiety that we're all feeling.